Hi TCMayerS! This is Teacher Jacky from the Covenant Montessori School. And for today's video, I am going to discuss about the square of a binomial and the ways and how to solve it. Come on, listen, and enjoy watching the rest of the video. Did you know that the square of a binomial is one of the most important topics in mathematics? Because it can be encountered in different subjects, like for example, pre-calculus and geometry. But before I will proceed to my main topic, let me refresh your minds by simplifying and expanding squared numbers.
Now, let us try to expand and simplify the following. We have 5 squared, 9 squared, and negative 17 squared. Let us do the first one, 5 squared. When we expand, we will have 5 times 5, and the answer is positive 25. And for the second one, 9 squared, we will have 9 times 9, and the answer is positive 81. And for the last one, negative 17 squared, this is equal to negative 17 times negative 17, the answer is positive 289. As you observe, all our answers are positive because of this law. The law of sign in multiplication and division. When you multiply or divide positive number, or when you multiply or divide negative number, the result or the answer will always be positive. Always remember that. And for now, I am going to discuss to you what is binomial before we proceed to a square of a binomial. What is binomial? This is an algebraic expression with exactly 2 terms. As we all know, prefix bi means 2. That's why binomial only consists of 2 terms. Let us see this example. X plus y. This is an example of a binomial where x is the first term and y is the second term. For now, I want to present to you some square of a binomial expressions that we are going to solve and to use later on. For the first one, we have the quantity x plus y squared. For the second one, the quantity 2a plus b squared. And for the third one, the quantity 3x minus 4 squared. But before we solve this one, I want you to take away this mindset regarding solving a square of binomial like this. We will use this example, the quantity a plus b squared. The quantity a plus b squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. A lot of students will look at this expression like this one. And I want to tell you that this is wrong. Because if you do this kind of thing, then you are not multiplying. You're just adding, and you can just square these terms like this.
A while ago, I have discussed to you about simplifying and expanding squared numbers. It is almost the same as we solve these expressions. For you not to be confused, let us use our first way on solving square of a binomial, the FOIL method.
FOIL method stands for F for the first term, O for the outer term, I for the inner term, and L for the last term. I will use this method in solving our square of a binomial. Try to expand and simplify the following square of a binomial. These are the expressions that I have presented to you a while ago. And now, we can do the first one. Number 1. The quantity x plus y squared. Use FOIL method to multiply. But before we use this method, we need to expand first this expression. So it will be the quantity x plus y multiplied to the quantity x plus y. And now, we can proceed to the first method. Multiply the first terms. The first terms are x and x. And x times x is equal to x squared. And for the second step, multiply the outer terms. The outer terms are x and y. And x times y is equal to xy. And for the third method, multiply the inner terms. The inner terms are y and x. Y times x is equal to yx. As you can see, the outer terms and the inner terms are just the same. They are commutative. They may be xy or yx. And for the last method, multiply the last terms. So the last terms are y and y. And y times y is equal to y squared. After having those terms, we can now combine like terms and all the terms. And we will have x squared plus 2xy plus y squared. And this is to be called as perfect square trinomial.
Now, we are done working with our first example using the FOIL method. But there is a much easier way and more convenient to use in solving a square of a binomial. And it is by using the steps of its own meaning. Watch this. The square of a binomial is the sum of the square of the first term twice the product of the two terms and the square of the last term. All you have to do is to learn and to remember these three things when solving a square of a binomial, because it is a way easier and more convenient to use when solving rather than using FOIL method. And FOIL method is a bit time-consuming also. Now, let us use our previous example and let us see if we will get the same answer. The quantity x plus y squared. The first thing we need to do is to identify the terms. X is our first term and y is our second term. Now proceed to the first step. The square of the first term. X is our first term, so simply square x and we will have x squared. Next, twice the product of the two terms. Our terms are x and y. We simply need to have the twice of its product. We will have 2xy. And for the last term, we need to square it and we will have y squared. After getting all the terms, combine it using the operation addition that is based from the given. And we will have x squared plus 2xy plus y squared as our final answer. And let us see and compare if we have the same answer from our previous solution. This is our previous solution using the FOIL method. And this is our second solution using the meaning of the square of a binomial. And there we have it. We just have the same answer.
Now, let us solve this equation using our second solution earlier. We have the quantity 2a plus b squared. And the first thing we need to do is to identify the terms. 2a is our first term and b is our second term. Now, we can proceed to the first step. The square of the first term. And we will have the quantity 2a squared and it is equal to 4a squared. Next, twice the product of the two terms. Our two terms are 2a and b. And all we have to do is to get the twice of its product. And we will have 2 times 2ab equals 4ab. And for the last step, we have the square of the last term. And b is our last term, so we simply need to square it and we will have b squared. After getting all the terms, all you need to do is to combine it and use the operation given. And it is addition. And our final answer is 4a squared plus 4ab plus b squared. It is easy, of course, as long as you have willingness and focus to learn about it. Let us not waste time. Let us proceed to equation number 3. For our last example, we have the quantity 3x minus 4 squared. Let us solve. Let's do first, identify the terms. 3x is our first term and negative 4 is our second term. Proceed to the first step. The square of the first term, and we have the quantity 3x squared and the answer is 9x squared. Next, twice the product of the two terms. Our terms are 3x and negative 4, and all we have to do is to twice the product of it. And we will have 2 times the quantity 3x times negative 4, and the answer is negative 24x. For the last step, the square of the last term. Our last term is negative 4, and all we have to do is to square it. And we will have the quantity negative 4 squared. When we expand, we will have negative 4 multiplied to negative 4, and our answer is positive 16. After getting all the terms, we can now combine. And we will have the final answer, which is 9x squared minus 24x plus 16. And take note, if the binomial has a minus sign, then the minus sign appears only in the middle term of the trinomial, just like our answer for this equation.
Now that we are done with our discussion about the square of a binomial, I will leave you some activities. Try this at home. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy and learn from our discussion for today. Keep your day productive, study hard, and please be safe, and may God bless us all.